Welcome back students once again. Let me take up the third problem for today. The problem number is 5.7. Yeah, you can come over here and look at the sheet. This is also a problem on a combination of two solids. Okay, let me read out the problem for you. The problem number is 5.7. An equilateral triangular prism, base side is 30 mm and axis length is 70 mm, is resting on its rectangular face. It is not resting on its base, it is resting on its rectangular face. And where is it resting? On top of this square slab of side 70 mm and 25 mm thick. Okay, the side of the square slab means is a prism. Okay, the base edge is 70 mm, 25 mm thickness in the sense it is the height. Okay, so basically it is a square prism of base side 70 mm and height 25 mm. Okay, on top of that you have an equilateral triangular prism. Okay, its base side is 30 mm and axis is 70 mm. Axis is nothing but its height. So one observation here, what you can make is, whatever is the base side of the square, that is equal to the axis length of the equilateral triangular prism. Okay, and the prism is not resting with its base, it is resting on its triangular face. Rectangular face. Okay, a prism will have a rectangular face as the lateral face. Okay, yeah, that's it. So it's a combination of two solids, a square prism, on top of that you are keeping an equilateral triangular prism. Okay, so let me start by drawing the square prism first. The base side is given as 70. So though it is not given, it is understood that the square slab is resting with its base on HP. So let me start by drawing ISO 70 for the square. The base side is given as 70, so I am going to take ISO 70 on both the axes, both the 30-degree axis. This is 30 degrees. This is also 30 degrees. So each of these is ISO 70. Now you can complete the rhombus by drawing two isometric lines. Done. So this forms the base of the square slab or square prism. Now you are given the height as 25 mm. He is saying it is thickness, is nothing but the height. So what you do is, at each corner you are going to erect perpendiculars equal to ISO 25. Each of these is ISO 25. You are taking the height along the third axis, which is the perpendicular axis. You have three isometric axes, as you know. These two are inclined axis. The third axis is the vertical axis. Now we will connect the tips of the perpendiculars drawn by isometric lines. So that is the square slab or square prism. So let me show you the top surface of the square prism by erasing the lines that are not required. This is the square slab. Okay. So this portion, there is nothing going to come here, so you can show it dark. Yes. Now one solid you have completed. On this you have to keep a triangular prism but the prism is resting on its rectangular face, on its lateral face. Okay, though it is not mentioned that the triangular prism has to be placed centrally. Okay, so let me mark the center for the square slab. This we have taken as ISO 70, so you can mark ISO 35 on both of these, ISO 35, and then draw isometric lines. This is one isometric line, this is other isometric line. Now this is ISO 70, okay, that is given as the height of the triangular prism, okay, or the length of the axis, 70. That's what I said, both are equal. The base side of the square prism and the height of the triangular prism are equal. Now what I have to do is, I will draw an equilateral triangle separately here, equal to 30 mm side. Why I am drawing this, you will understand. This is an equilateral triangle, so the angles are 60. All the three sides are equal to 30 mm. Now I want to know what is the height of this. This is going to be the height. Okay. So let us keep it like that. Yes. Now from here, you know the base, which is equal to 40 mm. 30 mm. So from here, from the center, I will mark ISO 15. ISO 15. Even here, ISO 15 on either side. Okay. So this will be this line, whatever I have drawn here. Now you need to take this height. Okay. This height you need to measure. How much is it? Unless you measure it, we don't know. So I am putting a question mark there. Now that height will be taken along the vertical axis. This is the vertical axis. So if this is some x, this will be ISO x. Okay, even here. This is also ISO x. Okay. Now you are going to connect this. Okay, and you are going to connect these points. And this point as well. So this is the triangular prism. It is resting on its rectangular face. Here the rectangular face is there at the bottom. Okay. So whatever lines that are not visible, you can either erase or retain them as light lines. Now the visible portion of the square slab can be made dark. Now if you look at the VTU question bank, the solution is given there for the reference number 44. This line is not drawn. Okay, this gap is left empty, but that's not correct. Even this has to be connected. Okay, these 2 points have to be connected. That's important. That's a correction to be made to the VTU question bank or VTU primer. Okay, so what is important here is to know the height. Unless you know the height, you don't know how much you have to take here. For that reason only I have drawn this triangle here. This triangle is drawn to the actual 30. Okay, this is actual 30. Even these two edges are also 30 each. This is an equilateral triangle. Okay. So this height, unless you measure, you don't know how much is it. Okay. you have to measure this and take its isometric length here. If this is some x, if this dimension is x, this height is iso x. So you should be ready with your isometric scale, and then you can take the isometric length of this distance to draw the prism, triangular prism. So the important observation is that whatever is the height of the triangular prism or the axis length of the triangular prism is equal to the edge of the square slab here. Both are 70. So that's why it is exactly, the surface is coinciding. Okay, it's exactly matching. There is no projection or there is no protrusion coming outward. Okay, it is exactly matching, and also it is resting with its triangular, the rectangular face. It's not resting with its base. Okay, the triangular prism is resting on its rectangular face. That's it, students. Once you understand the procedure, it becomes so easy. Okay, and when you do it using the solid edge, it becomes more simpler than what you are doing manually. Okay, so that's it for today. I'll be uploading these 3 videos for today. Tomorrow I'll be uploading 3 more. That makes 6 problems which you can submit after a week's time. I think I'll be giving the deadline or the due date as 7th of next month, 7th of May. So see you in the next class, that is tomorrow. Have a good day.